On this episode of Tales to the Table, Bowens got a mustache. We're going to start this episode off a little different. Not really. Follow us on YouTube at Tales to the Table. You can see Bowens' bald head, Boone's square face. You can see me. I need a haircut and a shave. I'm not wearing pants either, but you can't see that on YouTube.
You need a new face, too.
I need a new face, too. Catch us on social media at TLTI Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, except I'm in charge of Twitter and don't update it. So follow it if you want to. Also, we're going to be on TikTok soon. We already got our first TikTok. We just need Bowen to make the account and post it. And we're going to have a website soon. So be on the lookout for our website. It'll have our podcast episodes. We're going to start having a little blog with each episode. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how things work out sometimes. And we'll have merch one day. We got the designs. We just got to figure out how it works. Shocking news. We don't know how anything works. So yeah, catch us out there.
Matthew,
say
first of
again.
all,
I dare you.
I don't like how you throw all of us in a group. I used to watch How It's Made as a kid to go to sleep. Okay, I know about Twinkies.
Same.
I know how they make
we
rubber
don't sell
gloves.
Twinkies.
Well, if you asked,
How are we going to sell T-shirts? How does that work? If we put a T-shirt on our website,
Crazy idea. You make them, and then the people can take them.
Oh,
Isn't that crazy?
You're the one that can make it. You know how to screen print. Don't you?
I do know how to screen print, but I also
So why don't we have any inventory, Boone?
I also
Why don't we have
own
inventory?
a screen printing material.
So your steps of make them and sell them, that doesn't really work out right now.
Look, that's all an
Let's
art
move
degree
on.
gets you. It just gets you knowledge. It doesn't give you
Listen,
money.
audience members.
remember that commercial, that YouTube commercial? That guy, he would come up, he'd be like, knowledge, and it would be like a 7-minute commercial, and it was about this guy with a Lamborghini in his garage.
See these bookshelves right
Yeah,
there?
but I know.
Yeah.
Did you watch it though?
I mean,
all
everybody
watched
did the first time. We
Yeah,
were all like,
everybody
you can
did.
have 7-minute ads.
He's
And
like,
then this
that
guy
one
was.
time-
He's like, you know how I got this Lamborghini? That's exactly what he says.
You guys remember
was
that
a
one time
Lamborghini.
when they made the Lego Batman movie?
Yeah.
The whole movie was YouTube.
No, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. I love
Yeah,
that.
it got me too. It got me.
I thought I was special. I was like, did I win a prize or something? I bet if I watch this whole thing, there's a prize at the end.
That's what we should do. Pay for YouTube ads, and then put
A
our
whole
podcast
movie.
As
We
the
can afford
ad.
that.
No,
Listen,
the
guys.
podcast as the ad.
Guys, listeners, if you want us to make these full time, you want 3-5 episodes a week. I don't know why you'd want that, but we want you to want that. Listen to our podcast more. Share it with everyone you know. You know, if you're just bored one day, just put it on in the background. Get our listens up. We got to pump up those numbers. Right now, we're doing rookie numbers. And I read this article, which we're going to go through. It says, many hosts produce a podcast for 5 to 6 months before seeing major upticks. Well, guess what? We've been doing it a year, and our viewership has gone down. So, guys, we're going to do better with consistency and quality, hopefully. And we need you guys to do your part if you want.
Okay,
if you like us.
don't discourage them too much. Listen,
I'm gonna guilt.
We
I'm
hit a
I'm being
million.
passive
We hit a
aggressive.
million viewers. We dropped down to 500,000. We're trying to get back to 1 million. Okay, that's
I'm going to give you the real stats. We were at around 30. Now we're at around 20.
No, Matthew, you can't. You're gonna have to cut that. Do not put that in there.
1,000. I'll take it out.
I won't. It's okay. We only get 2 viewers on our YouTube. I'm one of them.
On the other one.
I don't even watch that crap.
So because we want to grow our podcast, I looked up an article. It's called How to Promote a Podcast, the 2021 Ultimate Guide to Marketing a Podcast. Within this article, it has the 2 pillars of podcasting. So essentially, to be able to market your podcast, it has to be good. So the first part of it is quality content. And within that quality content pillar, it has 3 sub-pillars, is what I'm going to call them. The first one is value. Do we provide value to the listeners? I forgot to mention, this episode is sponsored by KFC. Not really, but it's Boone's favorite restaurant. If you go to YouTube, you can see the Colonel's face right now.
You think we could get him on the pod?
Colonel
Colonel?
Sanders, please come on our podcast. We'll be in touch. Our people will get with your people. The listeners need to gain something from the episode. So we don't really provide new information, a skill, or we might satisfy curiosity. People like bald people. But really what we do is we hope to make you guys laugh. Does it happen often? Probably not. But every once in a while, you might get a little giggle in there. The second one, uniqueness. We are 3 straight white guys, Bowen, maybe, and we have a podcast. Not very unique. But we are the third one, sticky. We capture and sustain an audience attention. That's what they mean by sticky. But, we really just don't wash our hands very much. That's why we're sticky.
If we're anything, we're nothing if we're not sticky.
We're nothing if we're not sticky. So that's how we're going to market our podcast. We're going to focus on the sticky part. That's what we're going to do. So, guys, spread the word. It'll stick. If you spread the word, it'll stick. Your hands. Yeah. We're in a pandemic. So, Bowen, you had a psychopathic trait of the week this week. You want to go ahead and touch on that?
Well, yeah, but it was really just a roast to you, and I don't know that the roast was that good, but I can come up with a new one.
Come up with a new one right now.
Can you do it on the spot?
Let's see how spot.
He's closing his eyes. Catch it on YouTube to see Bowen's
Let's see just how sticky you are.
See how sticky I am. I went to the gym and I didn't even shower. I'm sitting here all sticky.
Ooh, gosh, dude.
I mean, it wasn't like a heavy day. It was just like I mean, I definitely sweat, and I definitely am sticky. My beard, whenever you don't have a beard, your skin kind of...
I got a good one right here. It's I'm looking at it right now, and I kind of want to fight somebody for it. But listen, so my wife, and I know a lot of wives out there do it. So we'll be sitting in watching a movie, it's Hallmark season time, where all the women are wanting to watch the Christmas movie. So we're sitting there, and my wife will be like, "It's getting hot in here. It's getting a little hot in here." I'm like, "Bro, you got a blanket on. Underneath of that blanket, you got sweatpants on. Over top of that sweatpants, you got a sweater on." And I'm like, "You're telling me you're getting hot?" And then she's like, "Yeah, but I'm not. I just want to be comfy." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what do you want here? What do you want here?" So then if I turn it down and it gets too cold, and then she's got all the warm things on, she's like, "It's kind of cold in here. It's kind of cold in here." And I'm like, "Well, how is it cold? Everything." "Well, my face isn't covered. My cheeks are getting a little cold right now." I'm like, how are you getting that's my psychopathic trait. If you literally are inside and you're gonna look at someone and say you're hot and you got a sweatshirt on, or you're cold and you're literally got a blanket sitting right next to you, that's a psychopathic trait to me.
I'll agree. I'm sort of on the opposite end. My house, I don't have the heat on in the winter. It's like 60 degrees in right now. So I like being cold and then being warmed up. I hate being hot. You won't catch me in a house with the air conditioning over 65 degrees.
You won't catch you. You won't catch you. Okay.
So I agree. That doesn't happen. I've conditioned Amber to like the cold because it's just she's forced into it. It's like the cave. If you live in a cave, you're gonna get used to it. So yeah, I agree. It used to be like that, but not anymore.
You best believe you ain't catching him though. You ain't catching him.
We had another segment idea if we were to go into it.
I think if you pay for anything in cash in 2021,
are you for the cashless society movement?
And I think if you use exact change, that's a jailable offense. Jailable offense. Stop. You're holding up the whole line. This is annoying. I'm just trying to come in here. It's because I wanted to get a Monster because I forgot to get coffee, so now I'm at Speedway, and you're over here using exact change for a lottery ticket and a 12-pack of Bud Light.
Okay, I've never... Listen, Bowen, most of the time, he doesn't sound super, white and rich, but he just sounded it as much as, hey, you know how you're struggling to make ends meet? Well, I'd like to just get this mocha frappuccino, please. Can I get this now? Can I just get this now?
If you pay for cash in a drive-thru... Death penalty. Nobody is trying to hold you. Nobody's trying to hand you out a thing with your hands all like, "Please, sir." Man, that's what you look like. "Please, sir, may I have some more?" You're not trying to drop any of the change. If it falls, you don't even care.
So let it get out of the car. We're having open auditions for the third member of the Tales of the Table now.
No, you don't need cash. Everybody has a direct deposit.
I have another. It can be a psychopathic trait, but it's also one of our famous toilet thoughts. Toilet thoughts. All right. Anyway, so it hit me the other day. I thought to myself when I was just driving, I was like, I know you felt it. You watch a car commercial, and let's say I'm watching a Nissan Altima or some kind of car commercial, and they're doing a Batman turn in this thing. They're speeding. They're trying to make you think that they're speeding and all this stuff. And I think to myself, I'm like, but you're not allowed to speed. You're not allowed to go fast in these cars. And then they take it to a racetrack. Yeah, who does that? Okay? They take it to a racetrack, and they're out here going fast. And then I found out, on top of that, that the car companies have the nerve to not even use most of them don't even use their real car. It's just a digitally altered image of an actual, like, car that can go fast. And I was like, so your car can't even do these things that you're showing us that they're supposed to do. So then I was like, it's like a thought to me. I was like, why do they even still do that? We know that people drive fast. We know that people do that. But it's like, imagine being a hardcore cop and watching that. Like, okay, I'm watching this soccer van. Oh, they're taking that turn fast. I'll get them. Like, I kept thinking, I was like, it doesn't even make sense that they show it to us in this way of, like, going fast. I've always
Something
thought
else that's dumb. You know, on TV shows when they show, like, phones and they don't even show, like, the phone screen? Why do they do that? Why do they show fake phone screens on the phone? What's so hard about videotaping a phone?
It's so true. Or, you know, I watched the YouTube video. I know you've seen it before. Like, all the effort they go through to make sandwiches and, like, food look good in the commercials. Mm-hmm. Like, how about, crazy idea. I know it's crazy. You just actually make food that looks good. And then you just take pictures of it. Like, you know, I've been to a few Mexican restaurants that actually take pictures of their plate. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking. I would eat that, even though that chicken right there doesn't really look good. I'm going to eat that chicken. I don't want a Big Mac that's been altered by aliens to look good to me.
Shout out to Rhonda's. They have pictures of their food on the menu, and it's fire.
It is fire.
This podcast is sponsored by Rhonda's. Not now, but one day it will be.
And I'm sure.
I
it's not
promise
just
to the listeners that this podcast will be sponsored by Rhonda's one day.
I'm sure it's not just Mexican restaurants. Like, I'm sure there's, like, some down home cooked, like, meals that take pictures. But, like, I always thought to myself, I was like, why are you going through? You're spending millions of dollars for these commercials to fake everything. And then I pick out a Big Mac and it's, like, squished like this, like somebody sat on it. I'm like, man, come on. Come on, McDonald's. They're the main culprit. I would say McDonald's is, like, the main.
I do just want to remind the listeners, next time you eat at KFC or Aranda's, don't forget to use promo code TOTT. That's promo code TOTT for 15% off.
If you tell them tell us the table sent us, they'll give you a free sandwich or a free meal. You got to whisper it in their ear.
Please record what happens, then send it to us, please.
Send it to us on TikTok at TLTI Pod.
It's not how TikToks work.
Send us to us on TikTok.
Throwback to this Halloween when me and Bowen were going to the Christmas party for when we were on our way to Jacob's, and when we were going there, I wore the Halloween party. I was wearing the Halloween Michael Myers mask in the drive-thru, and the guy literally had it didn't faze him at all. He's like, me and Bowen made a joke like, man, I've seen this before. Like, dude, this is just another Tuesday. Like,
it was a gas station, McDonald's, like a combo kind of deal. So I was like, that guy's probably.
Did you guys go to a gas station in Lexington?
Yeah.
So I was like, how is this guy not even, like, I'm talking about, he looked at me and he was like this. Like, just super straight face. Nothing was facing him that day.
I'll bring it up. We were robbed of Jeopardy. The team kept buzzing in early. They kept buzzing in early. Cheaters. I'd like to formally accuse the other team of people we don't know of cheating.
Do you have the bucket somewhere? Are they passing it down the aisle so that I can submit this offering? I'm at church right now because Matthew's preaching right now.
we were up double the second place team in single Jeopardy.
Correct.
And then they just all of a sudden buzzed in as soon as it came up and got lucky a few times.
Shout out to Matthew for knowing that Stephen King answer. That was real clutch of Matthew. I'll give him that.
You weren't supposed to buzz in before the question was done being said. They don't know that, Matthew. You gotta.
Yeah.
So Jacob, shout out Jacob. He'll be
no context, Matthew.
We were playing Halloween Jeopardy that Jacob and his wife graciously made. It's fun. Jeopardy's my kind of party.
Same.
And the rules were, you couldn't buzz in. It was on your phone, so it wasn't like a real buzzer. So it just like had a list of people who buzzed first on their phone, and they kept buzzing in before the question was over. Like they'd buzz in immediately, every single time. So I'm accusing you guys of cheating. If you guys listen to this, sorry, but you cheated.
Party was fun though. I won best costume.
He did.
That's why I have a mustache.
We revealed it. We said we weren't going to mention it again, Bone, but you ruined the episode. We're going to start over. Just kidding.
Look what I can make it do.
So I had another segment idea.
Bowen and his dancing mustache.
That wasn't the segment. So I'm in an HOA, and we have a Facebook group. And there's some pretty interesting posts. I thought I'd read a post and let you guys react to it.
What's HOA mean?
Homeowners Association. That's right. I own a house.
He's in a cult. That's what he's in.
I'm in a cult.
That's what that is. And all
I've
they do
never
is
posted
complain.
in this group.
All they do is complain about people having ducks and driving too fast near the ducks.
No. Let me find a good one. I read these to Bowen. I'll do the one about the guy with because it gets pretty crazy. Oh, we're also going to tell the pole assassin story. I'll tell that and let Boone. I'll just start with that one. That one's crazy. Have you heard about this story, Boone, about the monkey biting the kid on Halloween? Have you heard it, Bowen?
No, nothing.
Sort of, but I didn't look
idea.
into it.
So I'll start from the beginning. Texas football's special teams coach, okay? He leaves his wife and family to move in and marry a stripper.
This happened all on Halloween?
No, this is the backstory. This stripper's name is Pole Assassin. Okay. As part of her act, she has a pet monkey that climbs up and down the pole. So on Halloween, this Texas special teams coach and pole assassin, they have like a haunted house at their house, and they invite their neighborhood kids to go through the haunted house. And just so happens in their backyard, which is through a gate and around the side of their house, because they posted a video on Twitter. The monkey lives in a cage out there, and this kid snuck all the way through there and got bit by the monkey.
Like seriously injured or just a small bite?
That was the debate, because was reported that they had to pry its jaws off the kid's hand, but the lady that pole assassin said that she didn't even know it happened. So conflicting reports. If you want to see a funny version of it, PFT commenter had a whole Alex Jones.
I can't wrap my brain around the whole being called formerly pole assassin.
It's funny. That was it just kept going. Another news story. So 2 weeks ago, I think it's Corbin, Kentucky. I think that's what's happening. These cousins got one of them. I think killed the other one over an argument about a sex toy. So that was the headline 1 week. The next week, this school janitor pranked another janitor by putting firecrackers underneath the toilet seat, and the guy that sat on the toilet seat is suing the school because he sat on firecrackers and caused injuries to his private area.
Oh, that would. Oh, snap. I didn't even think. I was about to say, I was like, well, I don't know why he's complaining so bad. And I was like, hold up. Now.
This was all in Kentucky? This is local news?
Not pole assassins, but the other one.
No, I knew that one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I
would you
found the
just
Facebook
call her Pole? Like first name Pole?
I don't know. Maybe she calls her Pa.
Miss Assassin?
Mrs. Assassin?
Mrs. Assassin.
That's a pretty cool name, though. Like Pole Assassin.
It's not. It is
if I was
not
going to be a stripper,
all.
what would your name be if you were a stripper?
Oh, well, I can go and tell you, not a stripper. That's what my name would be, because I would not be a stripper at all.
Squarehead, no, but I forgot I forgot I wrote down another psychopathic trait, but it was like a question for you all.
We were going back. Bowen's psychopathic trait of the week, part 2.
Because whenever you microwave something and you know how it says it's like this side up, right? It's always in bold letters, this side up. Now, for some things that matters, right? Like something like a Stouffer's,
or like a pizza.
Something, yeah. Like you don't want to get the cheese melted to whatever the thing is.
Yep.
To what matters. But if it's something like a frozen bag of vegetables, I purposefully do it on the other side. There's no way it matters. They're just trying to tell me what to do. They're like, "Oh, I bet we can get them to make them do this side up." It doesn't matter. Like, we're just gonna put this on here.
You're not gonna let big vegetable control
you. Think they're doing it just to have like a sense of power over you?
Yeah,
both?
like this will be funny. This will be
Power
funny.
play.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not microwaving on that setup. I'm microwaving the other setup, and I do. And guess what? Fine. Tastes.
Guess what?
Fine.
Guess what? You start putting the bag upside down. Next thing you know, you're getting vaccines. you're letting the government control you.
I will say that on a super I don't know if everybody else does this, but for instance, if I'm like let's say I got pizza rolls and I'm about to cook some pizza rolls, and it says suggested time, or it'll say cook to 400 degrees for 25 minutes. I'm like, that's just a suggestion. They don't know my oven. Okay, we'll ball this out. So then listen what the funny part is. I'll sit there and do that, and I'll burn them, or I'll undercook them, and I'm like, man, these suck. I was like, these suck. And I'll literally blame. It's like something I'll just do, even though I know I'm wrong. I'm just too proud. I'm like, man, these pizza rolls suck, dude. Or like, I'm like, we need to get a new oven. That's what I'm saying. Even though they'll just tell me you're just plain up, I'm like, nah. But like, do you read the box? I was like, I threw that box as soon as I opened it. Okay, come on now.
Every time, do you go over or under, or does it not? Does it not
Most
matter?
of the time, I'll just like. It's always about quickness. So if it says for 400 for 25, I'll put it to 425 in 15 minutes. Like that. I'm more trying to equal it out, even though I know it doesn't at all. But then at the end of the day, this is what I do now. I'm just like, okay, so sometimes we cook these rolls at home, or we'll cook sweet potato fries, and you're supposed to put them in the oven. And I'm like, man, you can throw anything in the air fryer nowadays. I just toss everything in the air fryer as long as you're in a 10 to 15 minute window. I'm pretty sure it could cook anything. Like, I'm pretty sure you could cook a rubber boot and be able to eat it, because 10 to 15 minutes in the air fryer gets anything done. I'm just telling you.
What are you, SpongeBob?
Well, now here's the real question: do you let it preheat, or do you just like put it there? Just, okay.
First off, I didn't even know until watching a YouTube video about cooking cooking chicken in the air fryer that they even preheating was a thing. Like, I just was cooking that whole time, and then it said preheat your air fryer. I was like, how do you even do that? I was like, I didn't even know how you did it. I just was like, I just go and click the button and it's going.
Well, I don't preheat my air fryer. No. Oven, I do.
I preheat my oven. Yeah, I don't preheat the
I preheat the oven, but I never let it get to full crank before I throw something in it.
So you lack patience.
Oh, when it's cooking, I'm not I can cook, but I don't have any patience at cooking at all.
All right. So
yeah, I don't understand how people can plan so many, like moms can plan meals out. Like I don't understand. Like you gotta get all the sides. What am I doing here? And then what do you do? I gotta plan a week and ahead what I'm gonna want on Friday.
Especially if you're trying to have the worst part I found out is like me and McKenna wanted to start some Taco Tuesdays, and I got to find out
I have Taco Tuesdays.
Yeah, how difficult it is to get all the elements to kind of fit and make an actual like Mexican dish. Like you gotta get the tacos, and you gotta like them. Then you gotta get the sauce to go on the tacos. You gotta get tomatoes to dice up, lettuce. You gotta get shredded cheese. Then you gotta get, if you want some actual salsa chips, then the salsa. And I was like, you gotta have all that stuff for
and that
one
lettuce
day?
Is not gonna last you until next Taco Tuesday.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to throw away half the bag and then go buy another thing of lettuce.
Exactly. So I was like, is it really worth doing Taco Tuesday?
I don't do all that because I don't. I'm not a big vegetable guy. I really just don't like tomatoes, so we don't do that. Listen, I found the Facebook post I wanted to read. Okay, I'm gonna do a dramatic reading of the post and the comments.
This is in your homeowners association Facebook group.
This is in the HOA group. I'm gonna try and blank out the street names just in case.
Street names.
People were talking about.
Oh, I thought you were saying like street names, like narcotics, like what they call these
Pole
things.
assassin.
Street names.
Here we go. Does anyone know who drives the white Equinox and lives on blank? Who drives crazy? He just followed us out blank road, driving reckless and riding so close he almost hit us several times while we have our 1-year-old in the car. The first comment says, "Driven that way for years. Very dangerous. Used to drive an old Lincoln." And they responded, "It's pathetic. There are kids who play on our street, and I would hate for someone to get hurt because of him. It's to the point where we don't let our daughter out front to play. But the way he was driving was ridiculous. He was all over the road and so close that we couldn't see in front of his car at all."
Matthew read that one earlier. I don't understand the parents, or we don't even let our daughter outside to play. Tell her not to go on the street. I'm sure she's fine in the yard.
I want to go ahead and say before Matthew finishes that I heard it differently than I can guarantee he means it. So he said, like, that girl's complaining about the way they're driving, and then that guy says, "I've driven that way for years." That's the way I heard it. He's like, "I've been doing this for years, lady. Okay, come on now."
You're not going to stop me after a Facebook post.
There has to be something we can do about it for safety of our neighborhood, at least. I have video footage of him almost hitting me several times while pulling into my driveway. And then someone said, "I would suggest contacting the police and show them the video." And then someone else said, "Already been in contact with the police this morning." Is the driver an older or younger person? Here's where it gets juicy. Someone posted, "This is him," and it's mugshots of him with DUI arrests. And they just post the guy's mugshots in our Facebook group that he could just be a part of. He could be in this group. And then someone else said, "Thank you. I'll be on the lookout." Let me see if there's more.
by your
these
group
people.
posting that, yeah, I'm literally, if there was a purge, these are the families who are getting together and like killing the people that are in need, the impoverished people.
Yeah.
Like that's the
So
like,
there's
he's got a DUI. He's the first one on the list right here. Okay, he had DUI, has to drive fast. Like that's what has to happen.
So there's a few more comments, and we can go more. So it says, if it is who I think it is, he's now using another vehicle. Do not know what happened to the other blue vehicle he had.
Are they detectives? Are they detectives?
But now he may be using another vehicle for demolition derby.
I think there's multiple fast drivers in this neighborhood. I think somebody is just insane. They're like thinking it's one conspiracy.
Well,
like
I can
it's a
tell you.
guy.
I can tell you who it is. The guy at the beginning said he's been driving like this for years. What he's
Yeah.
doing, what he's doing is he's getting different vehicles and he's playing a mind game on them. He's
I'm not letting a
trolling 'em.
Facebook post stop me from going fast.
Another comment.
I'm Ricky Bobby out here.
Something needs to be done. Sounds like he's going to end up killing somebody. With all the kids that play around here and people who walk their dogs, we don't need somebody driving like that. This guy was mean. Email Captain Bowman of the Forever PD and let him know that you'd like him once again to step up patrol for this individual. I think he may sleep most of the day.
Step up
Threw in a
patrol.
roast. So that was the post of the week. I have a whole backlog of these. They're pretty funny. Bowen, you had a funny one. You read yours?
Oh yeah, so my apartment complex is making everybody switch over to a new Wi-Fi, like Exciber or something like that, and like it's forced. So like if you're paying a certain amount right now, and so a lot of people are mad about it. And one of the comments of the people who were mad about it that was trying to like change it, they're like, first of all, they're like their number one point, their first point. They're like, it's rude of you to assume everybody uses internet. He's like, now I got. They're like, now I got to pay for something. Now somebody might have to pay for something they don't even use. It's like, okay, lady, man, whoever you are, you use
like
internet. Everybody uses internet. I mean, if you're living in like, I don't know, I don't. I mean, that's just crazy. That was their number one. That was their first point, though. Their big gotcha point.
So that reminds me of a story that's kind of off topic, but at the same time, so my granddad would 100% be that guy who's like saying that, because he used to have this home phone that like was as old as you could imagine. Like it was so old that you could see the brown finger marks on the back of its yellowed buttons where he's held it all the years. And so one day I came over, I was like, hey granddad, you want to hang out today? And he's like, yeah. He's like, but I got to get a new battery for this phone. I was like, okay, let's just go to the store. He's like, well, it takes a special battery. So then we went around to like 5 different stores to find this super old, like I'm talking about 1970s, like, well, you know how they used to pack them together and it has like a little string that plugs in? Well, they couldn't find it, like string, but wire, and he couldn't find it. So then he went around and was like mad at everybody. I just don't believe. If someone needs to turn their phone on, this is it. And I'm like, it's 2015. I was like, bro, because this happened years ago. It's like 2015. Like everybody has a cell phone. He's like, oh, you never get another government's watching me. 2021. Who has the number one iPhone right now? My granddad. So at the end of the day, yeah. So
I bet he cooks his vegetables right side up.
I bet he does.
I'm telling you, people, don't be sheeple.
He also big to kind of give you another hint of who he is. He also won't flush after he pees for like 8 times because to save water. To save water on
That's
his
like
leg.
a grandparent's age
but
thing,
not
though.
for like environmental purposes at all. It's all about just saving him a dime, saving him a nickel. That's what it's all about.
It's not even that. I mean, it's such a small amount of money.
How much can your water cost a month? I don't even know what mine costs.
When gas went up by 10 cents, he looked at me and said, "I don't know how people are on the road right now." He's like, "I just don't even know how people could drive." And I'm like, "Granted." I was like, at the end of your month, you only filled it up twice because he doesn't even drive a lot. I was like, you probably are losing $5. He's like, I just don't understand how people are driving nowadays. He's like, one day the gas is gonna be $5 a gallon, and I'll be walking. I'll be walking.
It was $5 a gallon when we were.
It was when we were in high school. Yeah, I remember. Or right before high school.
He told me when it got to $5 a gallon when we were in high school. He told me that we were going to be entering the Mad Max time in the world, where people are like killing each other for gasoline.
Can your grandpa come on the podcast?
He would be very funny, I promise. I told you when I brought up Roswell to him, I was like, "Hey, Granny, you think something strange happened to Roswell?" He's like, "Heck yeah, it did." He's like, "I was around." He's like, he looks at me. He'll say it just like this. I'll even use the words. He's like, "The government's had something going on there for years, son. They've been hiding it for years. That's all it's about." And that's how
They average it's 1.3 cents per flesh.
He's saving 8 cents a day, Boone. 8 flushes, 8 cents.
That was more than I thought it was going to be.
He's also a big stock market guy. I've told you all that about before.
That's what I feel like. So, story time. I tell this on the pod. So, me and my wife, we bought this house that we live in now in last February. It's like playing the stock market. I bought the house. 6 months later, it's worth $75,000 more than what we paid for it. So I'm like, what if I just get to the top and sell it? So we found this house we really liked on a bunch of land, and it was like half the price of our house. So we're like really excited. We're basically not gonna have a mortgage if we sell our house and buy this house. On the way there, it's been on the market for an hour, and we're on the way there, and Amber's uncle is our realtor, and he's like, well, they withdrew it from the market. So remember I told you I was looking at a house last night? That's why we couldn't record. We didn't even get to look at it because they took it off the market.
Dang, why'd they take it off the market?
It's sold, probably.
They didn't. No, it didn't sell. They just didn't list it. It's not listed anymore.
Wow,
But the pictures I saw, the pictures that you showed us, it looked like they packed, like they were planning on leaving, though. Like there was that room full of boxes.
That's what I think. We tried to figure it out.
Maybe some kind of family got involved.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. Because like, Amber's uncle is very eccentric. He wore a flamingo suit.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
And so he like called the realtor. Was like, what? He's like, will it ever be listed again? And he was like, I don't know. Their situation changed or something like that. So maybe one day I'll be able to buy a house and not have a mortgage and be able to quit my job.
Well, I mean, I think that you're right on the market. So if you were still looking, I'm sure you'll find something because the market is good for selling. Not good for buying necessarily, but good for selling.
That's the thing. Because if we sell our house, we have to buy it in the high market too. So we were looking for like a cheap house, but. Oh well,
you got to do it before the housing market crashes.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I think it's your mom's basement. They're calling. I think they are wanting you to come back.
I have tried. I was like, Amber, listen, we'll have so much money in our bank account, you won't even care my mom.
Yeah, exactly. You would literally be like, we're basically rich now, Amber. That's what
But Tara
you could afford
right now,
if you were living with your mom's basement, you could literally afford a Cybertruck right now, Matthew.
I was like,
right
I told Amber, I was like, if we sell our house, move into this, because it was like half the size of our house now, but it was on like 2 acres of land. And I was like, listen, we sell our house now, I can buy a Tesla. But that didn't work out. So no Tesla for me. So guys, in order for me and all of us to be able to get Teslas, you got to share the podcast. You got to listen. You got to share. Give us feedback. We really don't know what we're doing. The only people that provide feedback are our parents, and they just tell us we're doing good. We could be doing awful, and we wouldn't know. But leave us a 5-star review. We'll read it on the next episode. We say it every episode, but guess what? We only got 5 reviews. I'm not calling you out, listeners, but I'm not calling you out. Share it with everyone you know. Are we wrapping up the episode, or am I just going on a monologue?
I don't know. You're kind of going on a monologue. What if people are worried about being anonymous and they don't want us to say their name, but they want to comment?
You don't have to. You can put a random name on your review. The last guy really didn't even have a name, and I called him out for it.
True.
True. But
it's looked like this entire episode, Matthew. We're still going because it's looked like you're in like a club, like right there. It changed, and you've been all blue.
My new
He probably is.
No, my new setup is in my the kitchen we never use, so there's not a kitchen table in here.
It's a dining room, Matthew. It's called a dining. Yeah.
I moved it in there, so the only backlight I have is my TV, and I have it on the game. So when it changes, I can put it. It's at halftime, so I can change it. We were really recording on Thursdays, so that's why I have it on. If we're just recording on Wednesday, I don't have anything on it. It's just solid right there. But then it goes on. I have to wiggle the controller every once in a while to get the lights.
I will say I came up with a good pod idea. I mean, this can be cut out later, but I just want to say it real quick. Is that I came up with a good podcast idea for a new episode that it can take. We could do a Thanksgiving, like best dish at Thanksgiving, just a quick topic there, and then we could kind of debate that for a second. That can be Thanksgiving. And then I thought me and McKenna did it today because she's listening to Christmas music already, and it's already driving me insane. But I thought, well, because I don't like them that much, I was like, why don't we just rank the best Christmas songs? Because there's like 20, 25 of them out there, and there's like some that are really bad, and there's some that you're like, that's a pretty decent song. So I thought we could kind of rank some of that and then rank some Christmas movies when it's Christmas time, things like that. Those all good ideas.
Let's do a draft. Let's do a Thanksgiving sides draft, like we did for the Halloween candy.
Well, I think we should have everything that we should even research it. Like, what's this culture? Like, what's Mexican culture bring for Thanksgiving? Or like kind of like unique dishes too. Throw some unique dishes in there too. Like okay, for instance, like we could use Matt's mom's sliders. I don't even know what you'd call those, like Hawaiian sliders or something. But like unique dishes that we could throw in there too and describe them to people.
Yeah, but those are Christmas. But also, I don't know that many cultures, different cultures, are celebrating Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but it didn't
Kinda
have to be
just an
culture.
American
Shot
thing.
that idea down.
I've seen it. Well, I've seen it online before. Like I've seen like unique dishes that family makes, and then you could find out.
Yeah.
Like,
What was it? What was it? BuzzFeed. Those.
Probably.
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something.
For
I don't
our,
want to say on recording.
For our my mom's Thanksgiving, since like we go to Amber's parents, we go to my dad's, we go everywhere and have like regular Thanksgiving food. My mom, we make Chinese food. Like so, we make dumplings every year. Me and
That
Amber,
sounds
handmade dumplings.
See, that's what I'm saying.
like
Like,
that.
I think if we say, like, because every family, that's what they're going to all say. Every family has, like, that one family member who's going to make their own, like, special dish that you just think's amazing. Like, we have McKenna's aunt makes, like, this great stuffing that I would definitely recommend. Like, it's better than any stuffing you've ever had. Things like that.
Also, if you're a listener, if you leave a 5-star review right now, I'll invite you to our Friendsgiving. You can come meet us. It's at my house.
Matthew will give you a very good, decent discount on his mortgage, and you can take his house.
I'll sell you my house.
It's all yours.
Let's see.
And you don't have a homeowners association if you move to that house, probably.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I just feel it's not like they don't ever get mad, but then I have like that pressure. I'm like, man, I didn't mow my yard this week. Like, they're gonna,
That's just such a. I don't
They're
know.
gonna
I hate
tattle
the
on me?
premise. The
Yeah.
premise of a HOA
No, Bowen, listen.
makes me mad. You
I'm
think
not
I'm
gonna-
getting mad at frozen vegetables?
Bowen, listen.
You don't think a homeowners association?
I've never been triggered more than I am in my whole life about McKenna's moms and their homeowners association, which I can't talk too much about right now, but we'll go into detail about it one day. And I hate the fact that homeowners associations even exist, and some of them have like super rules, like you can't even like build certain fences, or like you can't even have a trampoline in your backyard, or like even just
my biggest one right now, we can't have above ground pools. I'm like, you know how much an in ground pool costs?
Here's my thing. Here's my 2 cents. You are a landowner in the state of Kentucky. This plot of land is yours. They have no right to make any decision about what you do with it. And that's
Yeah,
what
if
I would
you
say.
don't pay
If
your
you want to
dues, they can
build a
put a lien
giant
against your house.
rocket ship that shoots off into the actual sky and goes into orbit, then you have that right. That's what I would say.
I get why they
Sure,
started
go
it, but I think they all got too big for their britches.
Yep.
I think they got too power hungry. They're like, oh,
Also-
my job sucks. Where can I go tell people what to do?
This isn't a hot take. Homeowner associations are racist. If you go to like, I think your dad told the story, Bowen, when he went to a meeting at your parents' HOA, and they had to update their laws because they hadn't had a meeting in like 50 years.
Well, they don't have an HOA. It's like they don't have an actual official HOA. That's the only meeting they've ever had. But yeah,
they were
super
updating the
racist.
laws, and it was like one of the things about the neighborhood was like no black people. That was
Well, no, it said creating a safe. We want to create a. It was like in the bylaws or whatever. It was like we want to create a safe and fun neighborhood for white families or something like that. It like specifically was like, this is for the whites over here. And Mr. Driscoll's wife was there. She's a black lady.
Yes, that's crazy.
Shout out Mr. Driscoll. You had a
Shout
fun
out Mr.
time at
Driscoll.
Foley's party.
All right, we boxing or we boxing?
I can box, yeah. That was a good 35 minutes. It was mostly me, so shout out me.
I know Matthew's pulling hard for the team.
Good job.
Pull on you hard later.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go plug my.
Love you
Xbox.
guys. Not you, not them, the listeners.